from my banned book, Revolutionary Voices, a multicultural queer youth anthology by a young woman named Ring Gluckman. I was 16 and had told no one I lived at home with 2 mothers. I didn't invite people home from school. When my mother marched in a Halloween parade under the banner of a local gay and lesbian task force with a mask on her face, people threw eggs at her. I went to school the next day and laughed at the fag jokes. I was convinced that if people found out, I would be beaten, mistaken for queer myself, graded lower, or sent into adolescent exile. That spring, our town newspaper printed a letter to the editor written by Carol Jones, an enraged mother. She came home one day to find her son flipping through Daddy's Roommate, a kid's book found in the children's section of the public library. Daddy's Roommate is a picture book, written from the viewpoint of a 7-year-old boy who goes to visit his gay father and his father's lover. The book describes the thing the boy and his dads do each day: fishing, eating, talking. Carol was outraged that the library carried books promoting abnormal lifestyles in the children's section where just any innocent child could pick it up. She demanded that Daddy's Roommate and all other books with a gay agenda be moved to a special section of the library. It was almost 90 degrees outside, and my town felt like it would explode. Carol's words tasted like acid in my mouth. Her letter was followed by a slew of media coverage and other letters to the editor. Patrons of the library, religious leaders, teachers, and members of gay and lesbian coalitions all over Vermont wrote letters. Everywhere I went, people had something to say about the library and Carol Jones. Some local newspapers and local TV stations began to follow the debate. Carol continued to write letters, each attacking homosexuality with greater fervor. She claimed homosexuals were sexual deviants, perverts, with a propensity to recruit children and commit sodomy. If exposed to homosexuality, children would invariably be corrupted. This was my family she was talking about. I felt frozen and numb when I read her letters, like some wild creature caught in a bright light. I was the innocent child she was struggling to defend, and my mother the evil demon that she would have jailed or burned. I bought a copy of Daddy's Roommate, and my heart broke for that little boy fishing with his father's lover. What would it have meant for me to have had this book when I was 12? It may or may not have changed my struggles, but at least I might have identified with that boy and found some comfort in the understanding that someone shared my experience. What did she mean corrupted? What did she mean recruit? Nothing of what that woman said rang true for me, and yet she said it to identify my life and my family. All of this was on my mind when the library announced they would hold a public hearing, so any member of the community could come and speak their piece about the issue. I had so much to say, but to say it out loud would change my life completely. To say that my mother is a lesbian would be to face all of the reasons I had remained silent for so long. But to not speak would be a disservice to my community and to the women who raised me. I went to the meeting. The room was sweltering. There was scattered applause, ranting, hissing, screaming, laughing, affirmations, and jeering. When my name was called, it took all of my energy to lift my body and walk to the microphone. But as I opened my mouth to speak, I realized the weight of that moment. I was ending 6 years of frightened silence. My name is Erin Gluckman. I am 16 years old. I have been living with my lesbian mother and her partner for 6 years. I am angry that because of one woman's ignorance, access to the book Daddy's Roommate could be limited for children in need of information. I am angry that normalcy is being defined in such limiting terms. I am angry that Carol is proposing the falsehood that homosexuals engage in recruiting children and the misconception that one's sexuality is a choice. In our home, there are books about being gay, and they have been available to me to read. I can say that none of them has ever influenced me to change my sexuality. As a minor who is dependent on the library for free access to information, I trust you uphold the Library Bill of Rights. The Library Board of Trustees chose to leave the book Daddy's Roommate in the children's section of the library. Hearing this news made me feel like I could breathe again.